Hi, everyone. This is Fred on Spirit Reflections, and this is part of our 81 episode exploration of the book Tao of Leadership, a modern adaptation of the ancient Chinese text Tao Te Ching, written by Lao Tzu over 500 years BC. Today, we're going to read chapter 74, followed by a short comment and meditation, and I'd like to hear from you. What do you think of these teachings? Let me know in the comments below. And if you haven't yet, please like and subscribe to Spirit Reflections. Okay. Chapter 74 is entitled Judge and Jury. It is not the leader's role to play judge and jury, to punish people for bad behavior. In the first place, punishment does not effectively control behavior. But even if punishment did work, what leader would dare use fear as a teaching method? The wise leader knows that there are natural consequences for every act. The task is to shed light on these natural consequences, not to attack the behavior itself. If the leader tries to take the place of nature and act as judge and jury, the best you can expect is a crude imitation of a very subtle process. At the very least, the leader will discover that the instrument of justice cuts both ways. Punishing others is punishing work. Indeed, and from the gospel, there's a passage in Matthew that says, "Do not judge, or you will too be judged. For in the same way you judge others, you will be judged. And the measure you use, it will be measured to you." So the longer the rule of measurement that we evaluate others' behaviors, that same rule, length of rule, will be used in our own conscience. Our conscience can't escape this mirror reflection back at us. And so when we divest ourselves completely of what we think is right and wrong, what others should and shouldn't do, and the certainties and convictions we have that are down to our bones, maybe that were passed down to us from our family, from our society, from our community, from our schooling, the more we're able to shake those off as just ways of seeing things and not certainties and absolute truths, the more we are able to look at people without the eye of judgment or the eye of condemnation and criticism. And it benefits us ultimately, because the more we are able to divest ourselves of that look, of that seeing the world in that way, the less we feel that punishing pressure that we impose upon ourselves, that our own conscience imposes upon ourselves. And this study is geared towards wise leadership, conscious leadership in groups. And so when we see a leader acting like a judge, using fear tactics and punishing others, it's like a father, mother trying to discipline a young child, a erratic child that's full of energy and misbehaving. And in a desperate attempt to calm and control the child, the parents will use fear sometimes. Oh, if you don't stop, I'm going to threaten you with something. And the child may stop because the threat of something is scary for a child, and the idea of punishment might be something that it'll make them stop that behavior. But ultimately, that child will grow with that fear, and that trauma will stay with them, and it'll be reflected in other things as they grow old. Now, raising children is probably the most challenging task we have here on earth, and so I commend parents who are able to raise their kids without inflicting too much trauma. But no trauma is nearly impossible. But if we're not aware, we might bring to our adult settings these dynamics of threat, punishment, condemnation that we were raised with. And this is where the lesson is inviting us to reflect and release the convictions of what's right and wrong, so that natural law that we've read in other chapters just follows. And what we can do as a beneficial thing for our own selves is just be aware of what is happening so that I can sense and feel how things happen. And in that setting, be able to better make decisions. And so that's what I invite us to reflect on as we put some music here for a short meditation. And if you want to close your eyes and relax, feel free to do so. Let us endeavor now to be still. We want to move our bodies a little bit to release the tension. Let's take a few slow and deep breaths. Releasing any worries, any anxieties about the future, about what we have to do today, letting go of any recent hurts or doubts so that we can be fully in the present just for this meditation. Let us gather all of our energy, all of our thoughts that might be scattered to different directions. And as if we were sweeping, let us gather them and sweep close to us. Bring all of our energy so that it's concentrated here and now. And let us continue breathing slow and deep breaths in order to channel this energy and send it to ourselves. This renewing energy, vitality, life-affirming force that comes from the universe and nourishes every cell of our body as we consciously breathe. Establish a natural rhythm in your breath. Long, deep inhales. Inflamed exhale. And I invite you in this moment to think of a time when you felt embarrassed by something you did, when you felt that you did something wrong, you regretted it. Transport yourself to that moment. How did it feel in your body? And now, as we relive this scene, embarrassment, shame, regret, remorse of something we did, we're going to fully embrace that moment. We're going to fully embrace that memory and give it a place in our hearts. That part of ourselves that felt the need to make amends, to repair whatever it is that we did wrong, apologize, make up for it. That responsible, stern part of ourselves, we now embrace and give it a place in our hearts. And let us imagine that we're bringing it in cradling it like a child, embracing it so fully that it begins to melt, to assimilate, to dilute into our bloodstream. And with this breathing exercise, this conscious presence, we give it new life, new hope. We welcome it in ourselves. And we can tell ourselves, hey, I'm just common and imperfect. An imperfect human being. Common. Full of flaws and mistakes. And that's okay. And since I don't know pretty much anything, we've done this exercise in a previous chapter where we said, I just don't know. I just don't know. Just like that, we bring this moment of reflection of a past action. We give it a place in our hearts. We own it. We cradle it. We give it life. And we let it flower in ourselves. We let this be renewed soil, compost, for us to continue working, expanding, and growing. One with the Tao, aware of what is happening, and flowing smoothly, seamless, in an effortless way with how things happen. A couple more slow, deep breaths to finish the meditation. Release. And whenever you're ready, if you want to open your eyes, if you close them, come here to the present moment. And I wish you a great rest of your day.